3 hidden ways God introduces you to your soulmate without you even knowing. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been asking God quietly, when will it be my turn? Or wondering why your love story hasn't unfolded the way you imagined. I need you to hear this clearly. You are not forgotten, you are not behind, and you are not waiting in vain. Heaven has been working in ways you couldn't see, arranging moments, shaping hearts, aligning timing. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. The first hidden way God introduces you to your soulmate is through disruption. Yes, disruption. The canceled plans, the closed doors, the relationships that ended without explanation, the job change that forced you into a new environment, the season that pushed you out of comfort and into unfamiliar territory. Those weren't punishments, they were divine redirections. God moves pieces on the board when you can't see the whole picture. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. What felt like loss was actually protection. What felt like rejection was realignment. Because you couldn't meet your soulmate where you were stuck, you had to be moved. Repositioned, upgraded emotionally and spiritually. Don't scroll, because this part is powerful. Every detour you took carried purpose, every ending cleared space, every uncomfortable transition shifted your path closer to the person meant to walk beside you. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. The second hidden way God introduces you to your soulmate is through preparation seasons. Those quiet stretches where you felt alone, the nights you cried in silence, the moments you questioned your worth, the time you spent healing, learning boundaries, strengthening your self-respect. That wasn't abandonment, that was training. Heaven was building emotional muscles inside you, teaching you discernment, maturity, patience, and self-love, because real partnership doesn't survive on attraction alone, it survives on character, stability, and emotional depth. Don't scroll, stay with me, because while you were growing, your soulmate was growing too, even if you didn't know their name yet. God was shaping both hearts at the same time, removing old patterns, breaking generational cycles, teaching lessons that would allow the two of you to meet without destroying each other. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. The third hidden way God introduces you to your soulmate is through divine timing encounters, those random moments that weren't random at all, the unexpected conversation, the invitation you almost declined, the place you decided to visit at the last minute. The social connection that seemed small but carried big consequences. Heaven orchestrates intersections quietly, without announcements, without fireworks, just gentle alignment. Don't scroll, because you may have already crossed paths energetically without realizing it. You may have stood in the same space, followed each other online without knowing, lived parallel stories that are about to intersect. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, and here's how God confirms these movements, through signs, angel numbers like 111 showing up when you think about new beginnings, 222 appearing when you question connection, 444 showing up when you need reassurance, through repeated thoughts, sudden peace about your future, emotional nudges that don't make logical sense but feel deeply true. These aren't coincidences, they're divine whispers saying, stay ready, don't scroll, because your spiritual awakening is part of this process too. Lately you may have become more selective with your energy, less interested in shallow connections, more drawn to depth, authenticity, and emotional honesty. That's not random, that's alignment activating. Your soul is preparing to recognize something sacred. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. God doesn't always introduce soulmates with dramatic entrances. Sometimes they arrive disguised as ordinary, as friendship, as slow connection, as unexpected familiarity, and if you're not spiritually awake, you might overlook the blessing standing in front of you. Don't scroll, because recognition matters. You must be present enough to notice when peace replaces anxiety, when conversation feels effortless, when emotional safety shows up instead of chaos. Those are divine markers. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Your soulmate is not late. The timing is intentional. The delay protected you. The silence strengthened you. The waiting refined you. And now the atmosphere around your love life is shifting. You may feel it in your chest, that quiet excitement mixed with calm, that sense of something is coming. That's confirmation. Don't scroll, because here's the cliffhanger. There is a moment approaching when one of these hidden methods becomes visible, when disruption turns into direction, when preparation turns into meeting, when alignment turns into connection. And part 2 reveals what happens right before God brings your soulmate into your life and how to recognize the signs when heaven is about to introduce you. And trust me, when that moment arrives, your soul will recognize it before your mind catches up. Stay right here. Don't let your focus slip, because what you're about to hear connects directly to the moment before divine introduction happens. And if you're still present, it means your spirit is already leaning toward what's unfolding, and this message is for you, especially if you've felt a strange sense of anticipation lately, like something meaningful is building quietly in the background of your life. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, right before God brings 2 destined paths together. There is usually a season of inner shifting, not external fireworks, but emotional recalibration. Your priorities begin changing, your tolerance for surface-level connections decreases, your desire for authenticity increases, and that shift is a sign your heart is aligning with higher standards of love. Pause and take this in, because this stage often feels subtle, yet powerful. You may notice yourself letting go of old attachments, releasing resentment, forgiving people who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because you're freeing your own spirit from emotional weight, and that release creates space for something new to enter. Stay present, because your soulmate is experiencing similar inner adjustments. Even if you don't know them yet, they're questioning old patterns, choosing growth over comfort, stepping away from environments that kept them stuck. And that synchronized preparation is what allows God to align 2 lives at the same time. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Another sign you're close to divine introduction is increased sensitivity to guidance. You may feel drawn to certain places, activities, or decisions without logical explanation. Maybe a sudden urge to attend an event, change your routine, or revisit a location. And those nudges are not random. They're spiritual navigation guiding you toward alignment. Stay here. Because the universe often speaks softly before major shifts, you may also experience heightened intuition, gut feelings becoming stronger, inner knowing becoming clearer, and that awareness helps you recognize divine timing when it appears. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. This stage may also bring emotional tests, situations that challenge your patience, communication, or boundaries, and these moments are not obstacles, they're preparation, teaching you how to respond with wisdom instead of reaction, helping you build emotional maturity for what's coming. Pause and breathe, because you might feel restlessness mixed with hope during this phase. A feeling that staying in the same emotional place is no longer comfortable, yet moving forward feels promising, and that tension is growth energy pushing you toward the next chapter. Stay present, because God often uses ordinary moments to create extraordinary meetings, a coffee stop, a work project, a mutual connection, a random conversation that seems small but carries long-term impact, and you may not recognize it at first. But Later you'll realize that moment was orchestrated. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Another sign is symbolic confirmation, noticing repeating sequences like 1010, 1212, or 717 during moments of reflection, hearing songs that reflect your emotional state, encountering words or themes about connection and destiny repeatedly. And these signs serve as reassurance that alignment is happening. Stay here, because this stage also encourages emotional openness, not reckless vulnerability, but healthy willingness to connect, to speak honestly, to allow people into your world without hiding behind fear, and that openness prepares your heart for recognition. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. You may also notice your standards rising naturally, choosing healthier interactions, stronger emotional boundaries, and more meaningful relationships, not out of ego, but from self-respect. And that shift filters your environment so divine connection can enter. Without interference, pause and reflect, because this phase also strengthens your sense of self-worth, helping you realize you deserve stability, loyalty, and mutual effort, and that recognition changes how you approach love. You stop chasing, stop settling, stop accepting inconsistency, and that energy attracts someone who values you fully. Stay present, because the universe is also aligning external circumstances, shifting schedules, opening new environments, creating opportunities for interaction, and making room for divine introduction to happen naturally. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Another sign of closeness is increased peace about your future, trusting that what's meant for you is moving toward you, even if you can't see the full picture yet, and that peace removes resistance, allowing alignment to flow. Keep listening, because here's the deeper truth. Right before God introduces you to your soulmate, there is often a moment of surrender, releasing control over how and when it will happen, trusting divine timing instead of forcing outcomes, and that surrender opens the final door. Stay here, because the next phase involves recognition, the moment when two paths cross and something inside you quietly says, "This is different," and part 3 will reveal how to recognize your soulmate when God finally brings them into your life and what spiritual signs confirm the connection. And when that moment happens, you won't need explanation, your spirit will recognize it instantly. Stay with this moment. Keep your awareness open, because this stage is about recognition, and if you're still here, it means your spirit is preparing to notice something most people overlook, and this message is for you, especially if you've wondered how you'll even know when God finally places your soulmate in your path. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Recognition doesn't always arrive as instant fireworks or dramatic emotion. Sometimes it arrives as peace, as calm familiarity, as a strange sense of comfort that doesn't need explanation. You may feel like you've known this person longer than you actually have, like conversation flows without effort, like silence doesn't feel awkward, and that sense of ease is one of the first divine markers. Pause and take this in, because another sign of recognition is emotional safety, feeling seen without being judged, feeling understood without over-explaining, feeling accepted without performing, and that safety is rare. It's not something you force, it's something that naturally appears when two hearts are aligned by God. Stay present, because you may also notice subtle synchronicities surrounding your meeting, shared experiences, similar life lessons, matching values, parallel struggles, or mirrored growth journeys, and these similarities are not coincidence. They are confirmation that both of you were being shaped in compatible ways before ever meeting. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Recognition can also show up through spiritual awareness, noticing repeating numbers during conversations, feeling sudden calm when you're near them, sensing emotional clarity after interactions, and these signals are heaven's way of whispering, pay attention, stay here, because your intuition becomes especially strong at this stage, guiding your reactions, helping you sense sincerity versus surface interest, allowing you to discern depth instead of being distracted by charm, and that inner guidance protects you from mistaking attraction for alignment. Pause and breathe, because another sign of divine connection is mutual growth energy. You may notice that after meeting this person, you feel inspired to become better, more disciplined, more emotionally aware, more spiritually grounded, not pressured, but motivated, and that motivation reflects alignment pushing both of you toward higher versions of yourselves. Stay present, because recognition also involves timing awareness, feeling that the meeting happened at the right moment, not too early, not too late, but after necessary healing and growth, and that timing creates stability instead of chaos. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. You may also sense an unspoken understanding between you, shared emotional language, similar perspectives on commitment, loyalty, and purpose, and that understanding forms the foundation for lasting connection. Pause and notice how your nervous system responds, feeling calmer instead of anxious, grounded instead of overwhelmed, steady instead of uncertain, because healthy connection regulated by divine timing feels safe, not chaotic. Stay here, because recognition is not about perfection, it's about resonance, feeling aligned in values, direction, and emotional readiness, and that resonance grows stronger the more present you remain. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign is spiritual curiosity awakening, feeling drawn to pray more, reflect more, seek guidance more after meeting them, not because they complete you, but because the connection activates deeper awareness within you, and that awakening is part of God's design. Pause and take this in, because recognition often brings clarity about what you truly want, not fantasy, but grounded vision, valuing honesty, communication, and shared growth over surface attraction. And that clarity helps you nurture something real instead of chasing illusion. Stay present, because external confirmations may appear as well, people around you noticing the connection, mentioning timing, commenting on the energy between you, or situations aligning effortlessly to allow interaction, and these confirmations act as gentle reinforcement. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Recognition can also come through challenge, not conflict, but moments that test communication and emotional maturity early on. And how both of you navigate these moments reveals compatibility and readiness for long-term partnership. Pause and reflect, because divine connection doesn't remove challenges, it equips you to handle them together. Stay here, because another sign is respect, noticing mutual admiration, honoring boundaries, valuing each other's time, and showing care through consistent behavior, not just words, and that respect builds trust. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Recognition also includes emotional reciprocity, effort flowing both ways, interest being mutual, communication balanced, and that reciprocity creates stability. Pause and breathe, because you may also experience internal confirmation, a quiet knowing that doesn't rely on logic, a subtle certainty that feels steady instead of intense, and that inner peace is one of the strongest signs of divine alignment. Stay present, because recognition is not about rushing into labels or commitments, it's about awareness. Noticing when something feels different, grounded, sincere, and purposeful, and allowing it to unfold naturally. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. God often introduces soulmates through ordinary circumstances, but the recognition comes through extraordinary awareness, through presence, through emotional intelligence, through spiritual sensitivity, and that's why your growth mattered so much. Pause and let this settle, because the more you stay connected to your inner guidance, the easier it becomes to recognize divine connection when it appears. Stay here, because here's the deeper truth. Recognition is not just about seeing the other person, it's about seeing yourself clearly, knowing your worth, honoring your boundaries, trusting your intuition, and allowing love to meet you where you are, not where you pretend to be. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. When God introduces your soulmate, it won't feel forced, it will feel aligned, not rushed, but steady, not confusing, but clarifying. And the more open and present you remain, the more clearly you'll recognize what heaven placed in front of you. Stay present, because the next stage involves nurturing the connection, understanding how to protect what God brings into your life, how to grow it wisely, and how to avoid repeating old patterns. And part 4 will reveal what happens after recognition and how to move forward in a way that honors divine timing and emotional readiness. And when that moment comes, you won't feel lost, you'll feel guided. Stay right here. Let this moment settle into your spirit, because now we're entering the phase that most people misunderstand, the season after recognition. And if you're still reading, it means your heart is being prepared to protect what God brings into your life, and this message is for you, especially if you've ever been afraid of messing up something good once it finally arrives. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. After God reveals your soulmate to you, the work doesn't stop, it deepens. This is where intentional growth begins, where awareness turns into action, and where divine connection must be nurtured with wisdom instead of impulse. Pause and feel this, because heaven does not hand you something sacred just for excitement, it gives it to you for stewardship, and that means learning how to love with maturity, patience, and emotional responsibility. Stay present, because one of the first things God teaches during this stage is restraint, not rushing ahead emotionally, not forcing timelines, not pushing labels before foundations are built, but allowing the connection to unfold naturally, layer by layer, breath by breath, and this patience protects the relationship from pressure that can collapse something beautiful too soon. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Communication becomes the heartbeat of this phase, not surface talk, but honest expression, active listening. Emotional transparency without manipulation, sharing thoughts calmly instead of reacting emotionally, and these skills create safety, which is essential for lasting partnership. Stay here, because another lesson in this season is emotional regulation, learning how to respond instead of react, how to pause before speaking, how to choose understanding over ego, and how to handle disagreements with maturity rather than defensiveness, and that emotional discipline strengthens connection instead of weakening it. Pause and breathe, because God also teaches balance during this stage, maintaining individuality while building togetherness, continuing personal growth while nurturing shared experiences, honoring independence without creating distance, and this balance keeps the relationship healthy instead of consuming. Stay present, because boundaries become sacred here, not walls, but clear emotional guidelines that protect respect, honesty, and mutual effort, boundaries that prevent resentment, miscommunication, and emotional exhaustion. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another important aspect of this phase is trust building, not blind trust, but earned trust, developed through consistency, reliability, honesty, and follow-through, and this trust grows slowly, like roots beneath the surface, invisible at first but strong enough to support future storms. Stay here, because God also uses this stage to reveal character, not just chemistry, showing how both of you handle stress, responsibility, conflict, and compromise, and these moments reveal long-term compatibility more than attraction ever could. Pause and reflect, because divine connection doesn't mean perfection, it means growth together, learning how to support each other emotionally, encouraging healing, celebrating progress, and holding space during hard moments. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Gratitude becomes powerful during this phase, appreciating small gestures, acknowledging effort, valuing consistency, and gratitude strengthens emotional bonds. Creating an atmosphere where love grows naturally instead of feeling forced. Stay present, because God also teaches humility here, letting go of pride, being willing to apologize, choosing peace over proving a point, and humility keeps connection soft instead of hardened. Pause and breathe, because this stage also invites spiritual partnership, praying together, supporting each other's faith, encouraging purpose, and aligning values beyond surface-level goals. And when two people grow spiritually together, the connection becomes deeper than romance, it becomes purpose-driven. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another lesson in this season is timing awareness, understanding that not everything must happen immediately, trusting divine pacing, allowing growth to happen organically instead of forcing milestones, and this trust keeps alignment strong. Stay here, because God also uses this stage to heal remaining emotional wounds, bringing up patterns you didn't realize still existed, not to hurt you, but to free you, allowing you to release old fears, insecurities, and defensive habits that could sabotage something sacred. Pause and feel this, because this healing doesn't happen in isolation, it happens through connection, through safe vulnerability, through honest communication, through shared experiences that rewrite old emotional scripts. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Protection also comes through discernment, knowing when to speak, when to listen, when to pause, when to move forward, and discernment helps you avoid unnecessary conflict and emotional misalignment. Stay present, because the universe supports this stage with subtle confirmations, moments of peace after honest conversations, clarity after emotional growth, stability replacing uncertainty, and these signs remind you that you're walking in alignment. Pause and breathe, because nurturing divine connection requires intentional presence, not distraction. Not emotional withdrawal, but showing up consistently, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and that presence builds security. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Here's the deeper truth, God doesn't introduce soulmates just to create romance, He introduces them to build legacy, partnership, shared purpose, emotional safety, and long-term growth, and that's why this stage matters so much. Stay here, because how you handle this season determines how strong the future becomes, and the next phase reveals how God confirms permanence, how stability turns into covenant-level connection, and how divine timing seals what was once only preparation. And Part 5 will uncover those signs, and when that moment arrives, you won't feel uncertain, you'll feel grounded, secure, and ready to step fully into the love that was always meant for you. Stay with this sacred atmosphere. Let your spirit lean in, because this phase is about confirmation, the moment when heaven begins sealing what was once only alignment and preparation. And if you're still here, it means your heart is ready to recognize the shift from connection into permanence, and this message is for you, especially if you've been sensing a deeper seriousness settling into your love journey lately. Not pressure, but purpose. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, when God confirms a soulmate connection. The first sign is stability replacing uncertainty. the emotional roller coaster slows down, anxiety fades, clarity rises, and instead of wondering where things are going, you begin feeling grounded in direction, not because everything is perfect, but because peace becomes stronger than doubt. Pause and notice this energy, because divine confirmation doesn't come through chaos, it arrives through calm assurance, through steady presence, through emotional safety that feels solid rather than shaky. Stay present, because another sign of confirmation is consistency, not grand promises, not dramatic gestures, but reliable behavior, showing up when it matters, communicating with intention, following through on words, honoring commitments, and that consistency builds trust brick by brick. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. You may also notice long-term conversations naturally emerging. Not forced planning, but shared vision, discussions about values, lifestyle, growth, and future goals, and these conversations don't feel heavy, they feel aligned, like two paths finally pointing in the same direction. Stay here, because emotional depth strengthens during this stage, vulnerability becoming safer, honesty flowing more freely, understanding increasing without constant explanation, and that depth creates roots that can hold weight. Pause and breathe. Because another powerful sign of divine sealing is mutual effort, not one person carrying the connection, but balanced energy exchange, shared responsibility, equal emotional investment, and that reciprocity reflects partnership energy. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. You may also experience increased protection around the relationship, not isolation, but discernment, becoming selective about who you allow into your emotional space, guarding the connection from unnecessary opinions, drama, or external interference, and that protection preserves intimacy. Stay present, because God also confirms permanence through character alignment, noticing shared values, similar approaches to loyalty, respect, honesty, and commitment, and these qualities create foundation stronger than attraction alone. Pause and reflect, because divine connection is not sustained by emotion only, it is built on integrity, responsibility, and shared purpose. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign is emotional regulation improving within the connection, disagreements handled with maturity, communication replacing avoidance, understanding replacing ego battles, and this emotional intelligence protects the relationship from unnecessary damage. Stay here, because spiritual alignment often strengthens during this phase, praying together, encouraging each other's growth, supporting purpose, and aligning beliefs, and when two people grow spiritually side by side, the bond deepens beyond surface-level romance. Pause and breathe, because confirmation also appears through external peace, life feeling less chaotic, circumstances stabilizing, routines becoming smoother, and that stability creates space for love to expand naturally. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. You may also sense divine reassurance through signs, repeated numbers appearing during meaningful moments, sudden calm when making decisions about the relationship, symbolic reminders of unity crossing your path. And these confirmations serve as gentle affirmation that you're walking in alignment. Stay present, because gratitude becomes powerful during this stage, appreciating consistency, valuing effort, celebrating progress, acknowledging growth, and gratitude strengthens emotional bonds, creating an atmosphere where love thrives instead of strains. Pause and feel this, because another sign of permanence is emotional safety, being yourself without fear, expressing thoughts without walking on eggshells, sharing vulnerability without judgment, and that safety allows authenticity to flourish. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. You may also notice your priorities shifting naturally, choosing quality time over distractions, valuing depth over surface attention, protecting the relationship by investing intentional energy, and that focus strengthens connection. Stay here, because God also confirms permanence through shared responsibility, supporting each other during challenges, showing up during hard seasons, offering encouragement during growth. Periods, and that mutual support builds resilience. Pause and breathe, because divine sealing doesn't mean absence of challenges, it means strength to navigate them together without tearing each other down. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign is inner certainty, a quiet knowing that doesn't depend on validation, a sense of "this is right" that feels steady instead of intense. And that inner assurance is one of the strongest confirmations. Stay present, because this stage also brings emotional maturity, learning to compromise without losing identity, adjusting expectations realistically, honoring each other's individuality while building unity, and that maturity allows love to last. Pause and reflect, because permanence isn't built overnight. It grows through daily choices, small acts of kindness, consistent effort, honest communication, and shared growth. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Here's the deeper truth. When God confirms a soulmate connection, He doesn't just unite two hearts, He aligns two futures, two purposes, two paths meant to walk side by side. And that alignment brings responsibility, not burden, but sacred stewardship of something meaningful. Stay here, because how you respond to this confirmation determines how strong the foundation becomes, whether you nurture it with patience, wisdom, humility, and love, or rush it with ego and fear. Pause and breathe, because you are standing at the doorway of something lasting, something divinely guided, something built for growth rather than temporary emotion, and the next phase reveals how God transitions this connection into covenant-level partnership, how commitment becomes visible action, and how divine timing turns alignment into destiny fulfilled, and Part 6 will uncover those final signs. And when that moment arrives, you won't question it, you'll feel grounded, secure, and ready to walk forward into the future that was quietly being prepared for you all along. Stay present in this sacred space, because now we're entering the phase where alignment transforms into visible commitment, and if you're still here, it means your heart is being prepared to witness destiny taking form, and this message is for you, especially if you've felt a deeper sense of responsibility awakening inside you lately. A desire not just to feel love, but to build something meaningful. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. When God transitions a soulmate connection into covenant-level partnership, actions begin speaking louder than emotion, reliability replaces uncertainty, intention replaces hesitation, and you may notice your soulmate stepping forward with clarity, showing up consistently, prioritizing time together, making decisions that include you instead of treating you as an afterthought, and these behaviors signal that preparation has shifted into purposeful movement. Pause and breathe. Because divine partnership is marked by mutual responsibility, both hearts choosing growth instead of comfort, accountability instead of avoidance, honesty instead of emotional hiding, and that shared responsibility creates stability that can hold long-term vision. Stay present, because another sign of this phase is practical alignment, daily routines adjusting to accommodate each other, schedules syncing more naturally, communication becoming more structured, and life slowly reorganizing itself around shared priorities, and that practical harmony reflects spiritual alignment. Becoming real-world structure. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Emotional leadership often emerges during this stage, not control, but maturity, guiding conversations toward resolution instead of conflict, choosing understanding instead of ego, offering support instead of judgment, and this leadership strengthens the emotional foundation of the relationship. Pause and reflect. Because covenant-level connection also brings deeper accountability, being mindful of words, honoring commitments, protecting trust, and showing integrity in actions, and that accountability protects the bond from careless damage. Stay here, because God also reveals purpose alignment during this phase, discovering shared values, compatible visions for the future, mutual respect for each other's calling, and when two people align in purpose, the relationship becomes more than romance, it becomes partnership in growth, service, and legacy. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign of transition into permanence is emotional courage, having difficult conversations with love instead of fear, addressing issues early instead of avoiding them, expressing needs without manipulation, and that courage builds transparency, which strengthens connection. Pause and breathe, because spiritual unity often deepens during this stage, praying together, supporting each other's faith journey, encouraging purpose-driven living, and aligning beliefs, and when spiritual growth becomes shared, the bond becomes anchored beyond temporary emotion. Stay present, because divine partnership also involves patience, allowing growth to unfold gradually, trusting timing instead of forcing milestones, respecting each other's pace, and that patience protects the relationship from pressure-driven mistakes. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. You may also experience increased peace surrounding the connection, less anxiety about outcomes, more confidence in direction, and that calm assurance is one of the strongest signs that alignment has matured into stability. Pause and notice how your nervous system responds, feeling grounded rather than restless, secure instead of uncertain, steady instead of chaotic, because healthy partnership regulated by divine timing feels safe, not overwhelming. Stay here, because God also confirms this phase through external alignment. Circumstances supporting the relationship, opportunities opening for shared experiences, obstacles resolving more smoothly, and life gradually arranging itself to accommodate unity. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another powerful indicator is emotional investment increasing on both sides, effort becoming balanced, energy being reciprocated, support flowing naturally, and that mutual investment reflects commitment forming roots. Pause and reflect. Because covenant-level partnership requires sacrifice, not loss of self, but willingness to compromise, adapt, and grow together. Choosing unity without abandoning individuality, and that balance allows love to expand without suffocating freedom. Stay present, because gratitude becomes even more important during this phase, appreciating consistency, valuing reliability, celebrating progress, acknowledging growth, and gratitude strengthens emotional bonds, creating an environment where love flourishes instead of strains. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Another sign is emotional safety deepening, feeling comfortable sharing fears, dreams, insecurities, and hopes without judgment, and that vulnerability builds intimacy that cannot be faked. Pause and breathe, because God also tests this phase through challenges, not to break the relationship, but to strengthen it, teaching both of you how to navigate pressure together, communicate during tension, and choose unity during difficulty. And these lessons prepare the connection for long-term resilience. Stay here, because divine partnership also involves vision building, dreaming together, planning future goals, aligning aspirations, and creating shared direction, and that vision transforms love into purposeful movement. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign of covenant-level transition is emotional maturity, responding thoughtfully instead of impulsively, resolving misunderstandings with wisdom, choosing peace without suppressing truth. And that maturity protects the relationship from unnecessary harm. Pause and reflect, because permanence is not built on intensity, it's built on consistency, integrity, patience, and shared growth. Stay present, because this phase invites you to step into your highest version, becoming the partner you would want to receive, embodying honesty, loyalty, emotional availability, and spiritual awareness. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Here's the deeper truth. When God transitions a soulmate connection into covenant, He is not just blessing romance, He is aligning futures, shaping legacy, and building partnership meant to withstand time, and that responsibility requires humility, gratitude, and intentional presence. Pause and breathe, because you are standing at the threshold of something lasting, something divinely guided, something rooted in purpose rather than fleeting emotion, and the final phase reveals how God seals this connection fully, how destiny becomes reality, and how divine timing completes what was once only preparation. And when that moment arrives, you won't feel fear, you'll feel peace, certainty, and deep inner knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Stay with this energy. Let your awareness remain open, because this phase carries sealing power, the moment when what was built in private becomes established in public in spirit. And if you're still present, it means your heart is being strengthened to hold something sacred, and this message is for you, especially if you've sensed a shift from almost into now. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. This stage is where divine partnership becomes anchored through visible decisions, not just emotional agreement, but choices that demonstrate commitment. You may notice conversations turning more intentional, discussions about responsibility, shared direction, and long-term structure beginning to surface naturally, and those dialogues are not coincidence. They are alignment settling into form. Pause and breathe, because God often confirms this phase through bold clarity, removing confusion, replacing uncertainty with direction, helping both of you see the path ahead with sharper focus. And when clarity appears, hesitation fades. Stay present, because another sign of sealing is mutual prioritization, not obsession, but deliberate attention, choosing time together over distraction, protecting the connection from unnecessary interference, and valuing presence more than convenience. And that prioritization reflects emotional maturity. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. You may also notice increased unity in decision-making, consulting each other before making major choices, respecting each other's perspective, and building agreement instead of dominance, and that cooperation creates stability that can withstand pressure. Pause and reflect, because divine sealing also brings deeper accountability, becoming more mindful of words, honoring promises, choosing integrity even when it's inconvenient, and that accountability protects the bond from erosion. Stay here, because emotional leadership strengthens during this phase, guiding conversations toward resolution. Instead of conflict, choosing empathy over ego, offering reassurance instead of withdrawal, and this leadership builds emotional safety. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another indicator is shared responsibility for growth, encouraging each other's goals, supporting healing journeys, celebrating progress, and holding space during challenges, and this mutual encouragement transforms connection into partnership. Pause and breathe, because God also confirms this phase through internal peace, not excitement alone, but calm assurance, a steady sense of "this is right," that doesn't depend on external validation. and that peace anchors your spirit during uncertainty. Stay present, because this stage often involves practical alignment, finances, schedules, living arrangements, or daily routines beginning to reflect shared life planning, not rushed, but intentional. And that organization reflects divine order entering the relationship. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign of sealing is emotional resilience, facing challenges together without running, navigating misunderstandings with maturity, choosing unity over escape, and that resilience strengthens long-term stability. Pause and notice how your reactions evolve, responding with patience instead of defensiveness, choosing calm instead of emotional intensity. And that growth is part of preparation for lasting connection. Stay here, because spiritual confirmation often accompanies this phase, signs appearing during meaningful moments, inner reassurance during prayer or reflection, symbolic reminders of unity showing up unexpectedly, and these confirmations act as divine affirmation. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Gratitude becomes powerful during this stage, appreciating effort, valuing consistency, acknowledging commitment, and gratitude strengthens emotional bonds, creating an atmosphere where love flourishes naturally. Pause and reflect, because sealing also involves letting go of past patterns, releasing fear-based behavior, abandoning defensive habits, choosing vulnerability with wisdom, and that release allows the relationship to breathe. Stay present, because God also tests this stage through opportunities to practice humility, apologizing when necessary, choosing peace over pride, valuing harmony without suppressing truth. And humility keeps the connection soft rather than rigid. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign is emotional alignment deepening, feeling understood without constant explanation, sharing similar values, aligning visions for the future, and that harmony creates foundation beyond attraction. Pause and breathe, because divine sealing is not dramatic spectacle, it is quiet strength, steady growth, consistent presence, and intentional love that builds day by day. Stay here, because this phase invites you to embody partnership energy fully, becoming reliable, emotionally available, supportive, and present, offering stability instead of uncertainty, and that embodiment attracts the same energy back to you. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another indicator is protective instinct awakening, not jealousy, but care, guarding the connection from negativity, setting healthy boundaries with external influences, and choosing privacy over public validation. And that protection preserves intimacy. Pause and reflect, because sealing also brings deeper trust, not blind trust, but earned confidence built through consistency, honesty, and shared experience, and that trust becomes the backbone of permanence. Stay present, because God often uses this phase to align purpose, discovering shared missions, compatible dreams, and mutual desire to build something meaningful beyond romance, and that purpose alignment strengthens the bond spiritually. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign of this stage is emotional steadiness, fewer emotional highs and lows, more balance, more grounded presence, and that steadiness allows long-term growth without burnout. Pause and breathe, because divine sealing prepares you for the final stage, where what has been built privately becomes established publicly, where partnership moves from preparation into manifestation, and where destiny becomes visible reality. Stay here, because the next phase reveals how God completes the process, how commitment becomes unmistakable, how the connection steps fully into its appointed season, and when that moment arrives, you won't feel uncertain, you'll feel rooted, secure, and deeply aligned with the future unfolding in front of you. Stay grounded in this moment. Because now you are entering the stage where manifestation becomes undeniable, where what was nurtured in silence begins to appear in visible form, and if you're still here, it means your spirit is strong enough to carry what's about to unfold, and this message is for you, especially if you've sensed that everything is lining up faster than before. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. This phase is marked by decisive action. Not vague intention, not emotional talk, but real steps. Taken towards shared life direction, you may notice your soulmate initiating future-focused plans, making arrangements that include you, restructuring priorities to create space for partnership, and those movements reflect readiness to build instead of just feel. Pause and breathe, because divine manifestation doesn't rush. It flows with purpose, each action layered with intention, each decision carrying weight, and when this stage activates, momentum becomes steady instead of chaotic. Stay present, because another sign of this phase is public acknowledgement, not for attention, but for alignment, introducing you to meaningful people, sharing the relationship with trusted circles, allowing others to witness the connection, and this openness reflects confidence in what's being built. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Emotional transparency also deepens here, conversations about real-life challenges, expectations, boundaries, and long-term goals becoming more honest. More direct, more grounded, and this openness builds structure around the connection. Pause and reflect, because manifestation also includes practical unity, coordinating responsibilities, supporting each other's schedules, balancing independence with togetherness, and that cooperation creates rhythm in daily life. Stay here, because God often confirms this phase through alignment of circumstances, obstacles dissolving, timing becoming favorable, doors opening without force, and life rearranging itself to support shared direction. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another indicator is emotional investment strengthening, showing care through consistency, reliability, and presence, offering support during stressful moments, celebrating achievements together, and this mutual encouragement creates emotional security. Pause and breathe, because manifestation also tests maturity, requiring patience, flexibility, compromise, and adaptability, teaching both of you how to navigate change together without losing balance. Stay present, because you may notice deeper commitment language emerging, not rushed promises, but thoughtful expressions of long-term intention, values alignment, and future planning, and these conversations reflect destiny becoming tangible. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Spiritual alignment often intensifies during this stage, feeling drawn to pray more, reflect more, seek guidance more, and that spiritual awareness keeps the connection grounded in purpose rather than ego. Pause and reflect, because manifestation also brings emotional stability, fewer dramatic fluctuations, more calm presence, more grounded energy, and that steadiness allows long-term growth without burnout. Stay here, because gratitude becomes central, appreciating progress, honoring effort, recognizing growth, and gratitude amplifies positive momentum. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign of this phase is mutual respect deepening, valuing each other's time, honoring boundaries, supporting personal goals, and respecting individuality while building unity, and that respect strengthens foundation. Pause and breathe, because manifestation also requires emotional discipline, choosing thoughtful responses instead of impulsive reactions, practicing patience during disagreements, maintaining clarity during misunderstandings. And that discipline protects the connection from unnecessary damage. Stay present, Because God also confirms this phase through inner certainty, a steady sense of direction that doesn't rely on external approval, a calm knowing that what's unfolding is aligned, and that certainty anchors your heart. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another indicator is shared responsibility, both of you contributing to growth, effort, communication, and emotional care, not one person carrying the weight, but partnership energy flowing equally. Pause and reflect, because manifestation is not about perfection, it's about consistency, showing up daily with integrity, compassion, and intentional presence. Stay here, because this stage also reveals deeper emotional safety, feeling comfortable expressing vulnerability, sharing fears and hopes without judgment, and that safety allows intimacy to expand naturally. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. External confirmations may appear as well, supportive feedback from trusted people, unexpected opportunities for shared experiences, symbolic reminders of unity crossing your path, and these signs reinforce alignment. Pause and breathe, because manifestation also brings clarity about long-term structure, discussions about living arrangements, financial planning, shared responsibilities, or future commitments, not rushed, but intentional, and these conversations shape the physical framework of partnership. Stay present, because God also uses this phase to strengthen emotional endurance, teaching both of you how to navigate stress together, handle pressure with grace, and remain united during challenges, and this endurance prepares the relationship for longevity. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another sign is emotional presence increasing, prioritizing quality time, choosing connection over distraction, being mentally and emotionally available during shared moments. And that presence builds deeper bonds. Pause and reflect, because manifestation also involves releasing fear of loss, trusting the process, allowing yourself to fully experience connection without guarding every emotion, and that trust allows love to flow freely. Stay here, because divine manifestation is not just about receiving, it's about becoming the partner who nurtures growth, embodies patience, practices humility, and offers stability. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Another indicator is shared vision strengthening, dreaming together, planning future goals, aligning aspirations, and building direction that extends beyond individual desires, and that shared vision transforms love into legacy. Pause and breathe, because this phase marks the transition from spiritual preparation into lived reality, where destiny steps out of imagination and into experience. And when this stage fully activates, you won't feel confusion, you'll feel alignment, purpose, and calm certainty guiding every step forward, knowing that what is unfolding now is not temporary, not fragile, but rooted in divine timing and intentional growth.